Good day everyone. In this video, we would like to report to you together with Ms. Asoy about the cultural heritage and identity of the indigenous communities in the Philippines. Spiritual beliefs and practices. Indigenous communities in the Philippines believe in honoring their ancestor and nature gods. They think that their ancestor can guide and protect them, and the nature gods take care of the environment. It means that they have a deep respect for their ancestor and to the natural world. They believe that everything is connected and that they need to take care of the land and resources. I would like you to give an example. Imagine a community is planning to cut down a tree to build a new house. Before they do that, they would perform a ritual to ask permission from the nature gods and their ancestors. They would offer food and prayers and ask for guidance and protection. They shows that they respect the natural world and their ancestor. Preserving these beliefs is important because it helps maintain a cultural identity and ecological balance. It reminds us to take care of the land and resources and to respect our ancestors and traditions. Indigenous communities in the Philippines believe in honoring their ancestors and nature gods and taking care of the environment. This helps them live in harmony with nature and preserve their cultural identity. So there are core ideas in the cultural heritage and identity. There are core ideas composed of the communities in the Philippines. First core ideas in the indigenous communities in the Philippines is honoring ancestors. They believe that their ancestor can guide and protect them. Second is respecting nature. They believe that nature gods inhabit the natural world and that they need to take care of it. Third is connection to the environment. They believe that everything is connected and that they need to live in harmony with nature. Fourth is the animism. They believe that animals, plants, and natural phenomena have a spiritual significance. Fifth is the rituals and traditions. They perform rituals to celebrate the cycles of nature and to honor their ancestors. And lastly, oral traditions. They pass down their knowledge and traditions through stories and rituals. It means that indigenous communities that in the Philippines have a deep connection to their heritage and the environment. They believe in living in harmony with nature and respecting their ancestors. This helps them preserve their cultural identity and take care of the land and resources. There are key points on cultural heritage and identity in the Philippine indigenous community in the Philippines. First is ancestral worship. In the Philippines, some indigenous communities practice ancestral worship called anito. This means that they honor and respect their ancestors who have passed away, believing that they can still help and guide them. They honor their ancestors through performing rituals, offering food, incense, and prayers to their ancestors. They ask for guidance, protections, and also blessings. For example, I would give you an example. Imagine a family is facing a big decision like whether to move to a new village. They might perform a ritual to ask their ancestors for guidance. They would offer food, incense, and pray for wisdom and protection. Honoring ancestors shows respect for their heritage and lineage. It helps keep family traditions and values alive. By connecting with their ancestors, they feel more grounded and secure. Second key point is nature gods. In the Philippines, some indigenous communities believe in nature gods like the Bathala and the Apong Sinukaan. These gods are associated with natural forces and elements like the sun, earth, and agriculture. So, who are these gods that indigenous people trusted? First is the Bathala. The Bathala is the supreme god, often seen as the creator and protector. Then, the Apong Sinukaan is a god associated with agriculture, helping crops and harvest. I would give you an example. Imagine a farmer is planting a rice. They might pray to Apong Sinukaan for good harvest. They believe that the god will help their crops grow and prosper. Believing in nature God shows respect for the natural world and its power. It helps people appreciate the importance of taking care of the land and resources. In simple words, nature gods in Philippine indigenous culture are believed to control natural forces and elements. People worship and respect these gods, believing that they can help with things like agriculture and protection. Third key point is the ritual practices and offerings. In the Philippine indigenous cultures, people make offerings to their ancestors and nature gods through rituals. These offerings are a way of showing respect and gratitude. They offer things like food, like fruits or cooked meals, flowers, crafted items, or it could be handmade crafts or art. Also, I would like you to give an example for this. Imagine a family is having a harvest festival. They would prepare offerings of food like fruits and rice and place them on an altar. They would pray and ask for blessing from their ancestors and nature gods. Making offerings is a way of showing respect and gratitude for their ancestors and nature gods. It helps maintain harmony between the spiritual and physical worlds.
Next is the shamanism and spiritual leaders. Shamans, or also called as babaylan or mambabarang in the Philippines, they are the spiritual leaders. They act as a link between their community and the spirit world. They do things like rituals, healing the sick, and talking to ancestors and nature gods. So, this role is like the shaman in Siberia, who are also respected for connecting with spirits and guiding their people. Having these spiritual guides in different cultures shows that people everywhere need help and guidance from the spiritual world. And now let's move to the myths and legend in cultural identity. Myths and legends are very important for how people in Philippine indigenous communities see themselves, their cultural identity. So it explains how the world began, how people came to be, and how gods and human interact. So they help teach important values and keep communities strong by sharing wisdom through storytelling. Next is the community cohesion through shared beliefs. So, shared beliefs and old traditions like honoring ancestors or nature gods help people in a community feel connected and strong. This is true in the Philippine indigenous cultures where these practices bring people together. It's also like the Maasai people in East Africa. Maasai is one of the indigenous ethnic group in East Africa. So, who use rituals about their gods and ancestors to build strong social ties and a sense of who they are. So both examples show how spiritual practices can make a community more united and give its member a feeling of belonging. So next is the environmental stewardship and sacredness of nature. So both Philippine indigenous cultures and Native American tribes like Ojibwe, so it is a tribe from Native America. They believe nature is sacred and connected to their spirits. Because of this belief, they protect natural places like mountains and forests, treating them with respect. So they understand or they believe that everything in nature is linked and caring for the environment means caring for all life. Now let's move to the cultural resilience amid change. So this means that traditional ways of life and beliefs, especially spiritual ones, can stay strong even when things around them are changing or when outside influences try to change them. Like the Philippine indigenous communities, they keep their old ways of worshiping ancestors and nature gods. But they find ways to fit these practices into today's world. Also, the Australian Aboriginal culture. So, Aboriginal is one of the Australia's indigenous groups. So, their traditional beliefs and customs continue even after colonization and modern changes. So, both groups show that spiritual beliefs and cultural practices are very strong and can last through tough times. Next is the interconnectedness of spiritual beliefs. Spiritual beliefs in different cultures, like those in the Philippines and ancient Mesoamerica, which is the Aztecs. Aztecs is one of the strongest civilization. They often share common idea like honoring both nature and ancestors. This shows that human spirituality can connect people across different places and times, and focusing on respect for the natural world and those who came before us. The last one is the education and transmission of traditions. So, this means that teaching younger people about old ways and beliefs. So, in places like Philippine indigenous communities and among the Maori, Maori is one of the indigenous people in New Zealand. Elders play a crucial role in teaching the youth about their spiritual beliefs, stories, and customs. Because this teaching is very important because it helps keep their culture and identity strong for future generations. And it shows how important it is everywhere to pass down heritage. And that's all. Thank you.